for FTL. FTL is a terminal-based file manager. If you use Bash, Vim and Tmux, FTL might be for you. I have developed FTL for myself, but it's stable enough, so I think it's time for a release. Let's get started. FTL is driven from the keyboard with shortcuts. Most shortcuts are Vim-like, but you can, of course, change the bindings to anything that you would like. Before I introduce the concepts behind FTL, I'd like to tell you how to get help, find out what the commands and shortcuts are, and how to quit. To display the help, you can press the question mark. FTL will open its man page in Vim, as you can see here, and the whole documentation is here, including the bindings, the default bindings. When you quit, you come back to FTL. The commands can be found with the AltGraphic-C shortcut, which opens a window where all the commands are listed, as well as which keys are used to start the commands. As you can see, there's at the top line, there's a map, a section, the key that is used, the name of the internal name of the command, and what it does. Short help. To quit, this is an FZF window, so let's try to type quit, and here are the different ways to quit FTL. I made myself a little list so I wouldn't forget what I was going to talk about. First, FTL is written in the Unix spirit. It is really reusing everything it can. The FTL is written in Bash, which is a great language to integrate a lot of applications together. Not only does it reuse application, but it wants to be reused itself inside other applications as a directory or as a file picker. And I could actually start by giving you an example of that. Let's quit this. I have a CDF command that normally starts FZF and shows me the directory where I can go. And this is quite fine. These are the directories under my current directory, filtered, and from here I could go somewhere if I knew where I was going to go. But sometimes I need to explore a little bit the directories that are under my current directory or over my current directory, so I can find a file and then go to that directory. So let's escape here. I'm gonna source a file that comes with the distribution of FTL, which replaces my default CDF command. Now if I say alright CDF, then it opens FTL, and there I have the possibility to navigate. If I go up here, I could go to the configuration, for example, and go into some of the directories here, and then see which files are there and get a preview for them. If I would press Q, I would be in the FTL filters directory. Let's do that. And let's go back to where we were previously and do it again. If I change to another directory here and I change my mind, I don't want to be to cd to this directory, then uppercase Q will just stop CDF, and then the directory will not be changed. So this is integrating FTL in Bash. I'll go back to FTL here, and it's also possible to use FTL as a file opener in Vim. If we take a file in Vim, this one is fine, and I have a shortcut that I have added to Vim, and it opens FTL. And if I was to select some files, let's see here, if I have some interesting files somewhere here, I could select this one and this one, these two examples, and then I would press Q to quit, and then the two files would be opened in Vim in tabs. And there's an example of how to write the Vim script, so you can change it if you do not want to have tabs. Let's see. FTL consists of, by default, two parts. On the left-hand side, there is a listing of the entries in the directory, and on the right-hand side, there is a preview. I'm going to close the preview, and here we can see at the top a line of information. It gives us which directory we're in. That the cursor is on the 8th entry. There are 10 entry. We are in a tab that is called T2, and the sorting is alphanumerical. You can move inside the listing with Vim keys, J, K, H, L, and so on, or the arrows and page up, and like you would expect from any program. The preview that we're going to put back here. In this case, we are previewing a markdown file, the README for FTL, and it has been rendered from markdown to something more like a presentation. If we go down to the to-do file, which is a text file, then the preview is done in Vim. This is running in Tmux, so we have two panes, one on the left and one on the right, and each one is running a different process. So it's not one file manager doing the preview, but one file manager that is showing you panes with some content in it. There are different types of previews depending on the entry. If you have an image like the one we have under here, then an image preview will be presented. If we go to a bit up here, and we are on a directory, the preview pane is actually an instance of FTL that is running. Normally you do not go into the preview and go around in the preview, but nothing would stop us to do that. One thing that FTL does is also providing multiple types of previews. I'm going to take another example by going up here on this file, on this directory. You see this directory has just one subdirectory, but I would like to know how much space it's taking, and it is possible to ask for different type of previews. The default binding is graphic V, and in this case, when it's a directory, FTL has started GDU, which is an application that is like NCDU, but it's written in Go. They work both the same, and now I can see that my FTL directory is 82 megabytes big, which is actually surprising, because I shouldn't have that much data in that directory. So what I can do, since this is tmux, I can jump to the pane that is on the right, and then from there I am in the GDU application, and I can go around and look what is it that is taking so much room. And here I can see that the culprit is the var directory, where I have a lot of thumbs which are previews for images that are pre-generated or have been generated in previous runs. If I was to take away this directory, then it will be much smaller. The var directory itself is a directory that contains data that is generated during runtime, and that it's possible to remove if you don't want to have it. I'll go back to the listing side. See here, I think that there is also, let me see here, if we take this directory, there is another alternative preview for directories. And here we can see the result as if it came from ls. Actually, the output is coming from ls. When I run this second type of preview, ls is run, and then the output of ls is displayed in the preview window. This allows you to very simply make previews of files that are exotic and that nobody else uses but you. And adding a previewer is pretty simple. In the list, on the listing side, I can remove the preview one more time. We talked about the header, where there is some information about the directory, the entries, the tabs, and so on. The information there is dynamic. So depending on what you are doing, there might be more information, and the path might be truncated also to make room for the information if there is a preview. We could take an example here. Let's say that I want to filter the entries here, and then it's going to ask me, okay, what is it you want to filter? Let's say I want to have everything that has an S in it, nothing very fancy. And then, well, just the directories that have an S. But let me see here, we'll point. You can see that there is a tilde there, and the tilde means that we are filtering something. I'm going to remove the filter, and then the tilde disappears and all the files are back. On the entries themselves, there is a cursor, which is the blue square here that you see going up and down, and after that there is a number, which is then the entry number, and then the entry itself colored according to ls colors. It's possible to jump up and down from one entry to the other. I could say go to 9, and then it goes to the 9th entry. We can go into test directory here, have a download here, and we can have a look at other types of previews. We have seen directories. Here there is an, I'm going to put the preview back. There is an image, a CBR, which is comics. The first image is extracted and shown. Some XLSX file. When FTL doesn't know how to present a better preview, it shows you some very generic data like MIME types, the name and the size of the file. Here is a PDF file. I spend a lot of time in the terminal, and Most of the time when there's a PDF, I'd like to read it directly in the terminal, not starting something. And the preview that is, it's a short preview that is extracted, it's a few pages. You can also ask for the full preview in text. Let me see what we have more. We have a C file here, and we can see that it's shown in Vim. So if you're working with Vim, you're going to get exactly the preview that you want there, because Vim is showing you the preview. It will be your colors, it will be any setting that you have will be used. Here we have a video, same thing. The first line is, the first image is extracted and shown to you. And here I can ask for a little bit more information by asking for a different preview. And here what I got is a list of different information extracted from the file, and the file is played also. The music, the audio part is played. If I move to another entry, then it stops playing. Of course, it is also possible to ask to see the video. And in that case, Tmox puts itself in the background, and VLC is used to play. On this video, which I'm recording with Kazam, you might feel that the video is slow, or when I'm scrolling over images, the images are not displayed very quickly. But it's because of how Kazam saves the images and at which frequency. On the terminals, it's very fast. Images are very fast, and video is normal speed, and so on. So this is VLC in full screen. Even though I'm a terminal geek, I also like to use GUIs sometimes for videos or other type of media. So I can close this one. We talked about for example, here I have a PDF, and this PDF where we can't see much from it. Probably this is images, and let me see here. I can ask for more preview, and it tells me, yeah, okay, this is what you get more previews of, and it still doesn't help me very much. When it comes to PDFs, you can also ask for preview, an image preview from the PDF. So I'm going to do that, and you get just the first page as if it was an image. And yeah, I see it. This is very old Starlog. You can of course also look at the PDF as a PDF, not just as text or as an image. And here I just need to ask for it to be open. No, sorry. When it's PDF, when you can open it in multiple ways. You can open it like I just did, which I can show you this here. It will be better if I say open it normally. Then I will get everything here has been transformed to text, but I'm not seeing the PDF, I'm still seeing the text. I can here or on Starlog say, yeah, well, I really want to see this as a PDF. So it opens a GUI, and there I can scroll up and down and so on, and then I can quit, and then I'm back to where I was. This is for we've seen the video a little bit earlier. We've seen some PDFs. The same goes for music. Let's see here. When for an MP3, since there is no image to show, the default preview will show you all the information it can show you. But sometimes you have 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 MP3s, and maybe the name doesn't tell you much. I know which one this is because I use it very often for my presentations, but if I wanted, I could ask for a preview with sound, and then I hope that you hear the music too. Then the music will be played. If I go to another entry or change directory or quit, then the music is stopped. When it comes to images, we can go to this directory here. Images are displayed one after the other. I mean, I can scroll pretty quickly here, and the images are shown to me. I can also, if I want to get a montage of the images that are in it, and since I actually don't remember what the shortcut is, we can use the help. So here I say montage, and it tells me it's ZMP. Okay. And then I get a montage of it. And if I go to the next directory, which has no images in it, then there is nothing shown at all. If I do the same thing, ZMP, then I get the normal preview as I had before. One thing that is a little bit different, and thanks to Tmux, we can split windows and do quite a few things. That I'll go on an image here, and then I'm gonna say I want to split this window, and then I get another window under. I can go to the other pane. So what we have now is 3 different applications that are running separately, where the first one is synchronizing the other. They are synchronizing with each other, but it's 3 completely separated processes. Let me see here. If I go here, so as you see here, we have 2 file listings and 1 preview, but it's also possible to say, no, actually I want to have my own preview here, and then I could go back to the one at the top here, and it has its own preview, and then if I go back to the bottom, then I have this preview. That's why I call FTL hyper orthodox. It's not orthodox with having 2 panes. It has one pane with preview, 5 panes with 3 previews. It's a little bit up to you, so you can adapt a little bit to the way you work. Let me see here. I'm gonna close the second pane, and now I'm gonna go back to my little list here. You see, and my little list says that we should talk about tabs and bookmarks and tags and e-tags and tab handlers and other things. Okay, tabs, because tabs is the simplest thing. If I'm on the download directory here and I press, let me see, well, we can do this, and I say tab, it says tab new, it's add graphic S, or it's the paragraph sign. I've chosen that one because it's just on top of the tab key, so I can add tabs and tab between them very simply. So if I'm on the download directory and I press the paragraph sign, then it will open a new tab, which is called T3, and then I can go from 1 to tab 2 and tab 3 and go around them. Each tab has its own filters. So I could filter away something here, and then filter something else here, and then something else here, and then I could go from one to the other. This is very practical when you want to select some entries and then go to another tab and then paste them there, for example. There will be videos explaining all these different commands. This is just an introduction. We also have tags and e-tags. Tags. It's when you, for example, have some MP3 music and you want to tag it with reggae and whatever year it has been produced and who the singer is, for example. So which would allow you to look for them by tags. FTL doesn't implement anything on its own, but it uses TMSU, which might be pronounced tiramisu. And there is also a video just for how to use it, but I can show you a little bit here. If I say like this, then it shows me the README file that I have here is on this line, and it's tagged with doc and red. These are just example tags, and the other ones are either not tagged at all or have some tags. If I go up or down, then that preview disappears. It's a temporary preview. I could also say I want to take this file and this file here, and I want to tag them, and then I would be able to tag them. Add tags, remove tags, and so on. As I said earlier, there will be a video just for that. Let me see here. I untag everything, and then we have e-tags. E-tags are E stands for extra, so it's an extra tag. The extra tag is inserted between the number here and the name of the entry. So let me see here. I have opened a little window, and in this window I have a list of the different type of tags that I can display: date tags, git tags, image size, known, TMSU, or virtual. All these are explained in other videos, but let's say I want to take git here. So I say git, and then I will have two letters showing me the status of the file. So I can see here that the to-do has been modified, and I haven't committed it yet. I can hide, of course, these tags and then bring them back, or choose to show something else. For example, I could choose image size. This is an FZF window, so if I say image, it will filter everything away and just keep what has an I and an M in it. And here we get to see which files have which size, and I can of course hide it also. So this was the very quick introduction to what FTL can do. There is at least 20 short videos. Most of them are just a few minutes long, showing you which shortcuts there are for which commands, so you can watch them in any order. There are two videos, one for key bindings that I think is important, because if you bind the keys that you like, you're going to use it. It's the Vim-like bindings are not easy on newcomers if you're not a Vim user. There is a whole file that is called non-Vim-like bindings, where it's completely it's removed from Vim bindings. Maybe you like it more. And then there is one a little bit longer video which is about examples and configuration, and there might be one about installation also. As FTL is a program that uses a lot of other programs, installation of FTL is it's not complex, but it's more complicated than an application where you just download a binary and then you're done. There is probably 50 different binaries in the distribution, and but most of them you can get from your package manager. FTL doesn't do installation. There is we could look at it actually. There is an install the install file here, and you can see here that it does sudo apt install, and then there is a lot of dependencies. It will do that. Yes, read the installation file. Absolutely don't just run the installation without reading it. There are some configurations, there are some choices that you can make before you do the installation. Otherwise, it's pretty smooth sailing. So I'll see you for the next video, which will be about binding keys to commands. Bye.